Hey, all my cool cultists out there, and welcome back to my second video. It's great to have you again. Today, we are going to be doing, I think, 2 more, and we will be on to our spooky stories for today. I hope you like them, and let's go. Okay, so last time we got together, we finished The Walk. And that was pretty spooky. Kind of weird, but I liked it. And I hope you did too. Now we will be on to What Do You Come For? I have such a childish sense of humor. There was an old woman who lived all by herself. And she was very lonely. Oh, sorry guys if my voice is a little off. I'm still getting over being sick. It feels like it's been like a week or 2, I swear. It's like I get better and then it feels like I get a little worse and like bleh. But I hope you enjoy anyway. There was an old woman who lived all by herself, and she was very lonely. Sitting in the kitchen one night, she said, "Oh, I wish I had some company." No sooner had she spoken than down the chimney tumbled 2 feet, from which the flesh had rotted. The old woman's eyes bulged with terror. Then 2 legs dropped to the hearth and attached themselves to the feet. Then a body tumbled down, then 2 arms and a man's head. As the old woman watched, the parts came together into a great, gangling man. The man danced around and around the room. Faster and faster he went. Then he stopped and he looked into her eyes. "What do you come for?" she asked in a small voice that shivered and shook. "What do I come for?" he said. I come for you." I was like, woof. Spook ya. That's a pretty good one. It'd be crazy to think like you're just minding your own business and then out of nowhere like body parts, and I'm assuming they're severed, you would think, because it says that piece by piece it drops. So like you're just like sitting there drinking a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you're doing, and then boom, just body parts start dropping. It's like, man, you gotta be careful what you wish for, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also thinking like where'd it come from, where did like what is that? It's crazy to think that I read this as a kid and was just like, yeah. Not even like really, I don't even think really in-depth thinking about what I was reading. That's what happens when you're a horror kid, I guess. I've also been thinking about it, and I think the next books I might try to go for is like Goosebumps, because I want the channel to be kind of nostalgia horror, where it's like nostalgia, horror, or like a mixture of the two. So for farther on, I want to do like reviews on old kid shows like Flapjack, Mr. Meaty, things like that. Maybe Land Before Time. I really like those. Rocko's Modern Life. There's like a bunch of them that I want to do. So I hope you come along for the ride, and if you get a flashback to the past, let me know. I would be happy to review it, because it'd be cool to like make this channel just like a big mixing pot of everyone's nostalgias, and I'm also gonna be doing cryptids stuff and maybe some creepypastas, like, Jeff the Killer, Slender Man, really old stuff. But enough talking your ear off. Let's talk it off more with some spooky stuff. This is Pt.2 Walker, which I wonder what that is. There was a haunted house where every night a bloody head fell down the chimney. At least, that's what people said. So nobody would stay there overnight. Then a rich man offered $200. Well, that really says something for the times. I feel like most of the time it's like $500, or up from there. It's like, I don't know, I'm gonna do it for $200, but I'd do it for $200. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd go $200, $200. You know what I'm saying? And this boy said he would try it if he could bring his dog with him. So it was all settled. That's based. I think I could do a lot of scary shit if I had a dog with me. I've grown up with dogs my whole life. The very next night, the dog, Archer's dog, the dog went to the house. He's like, you know what? My dog will hang out. Strap a GoPro on him. The very next night, the boy went to the house with his dog. To make him more cheerful, he started a fire in the fireplace. Then, he sat in front of the fire and waited, and his dog waited with him. For a while, nothing happened. But a little after midnight, he heard someone singing softly and sadly off in the woods. The singing sounded something like this. It's just somebody singing, the boy told himself, but he was frightened. Then his dog answered the song. Softly and sadly it sang. Lychee, catchy, collie, molly, dingo, dingo. The boy could not believe his ears. His dog had never uttered a word before. Dude, that'd be wow. Whoa. I'd be like, okay, maybe I made a mistake. Why? Whoa. Be like, I also feel kind of hurt. I'd be like, I've talked to you multiple times because I do it with my cats. I'll look at them. I'll be like, do you have something to say? And they look at me. You kind of just look at me, for a second. And then it's nothing. But if I was bringing my cat out to the woods with me, like a camping trip, and it started singing, I'd feel betrayed. I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, I'm not crying. It's fine. Then, a few minutes later, he heard the singing again. Now it was closer and louder, but the words were the same. Me Tido T Walker. This time the boy tried to stop his dog from answering. He was afraid that whoever was singing would hear it and come after them. But his dog paid no attention, and it sang again. Lychee, Kenchi, Collie, molly, dingo, dingo. A half an hour later, the boy heard the singing again. Now it was in the backyard, and the song was the same. Me Tido T Walker. Again, the boy tried to keep his dog quiet, but the dog sang louder than ever before. Lychee, catchy, collie, molly, dingo, dingo. Soon, the boy heard the singing again. Now it was coming down the chimney. Pt.2 Walker, the dog sang right back. Lee, chi, catchy, collie, molly, dingo, dingo. Suddenly a bloody head fell down the chimney. It missed the fire and landed right next to the dog. The dog took one look and fell over, dead from fright. The head turned and stared at the boy. Oh no, wait. Dude, my brain was like in reading mode. Ah, no puppy. Let's give a moment, just like a second of silence, for someone who betrayed us, but we love them. We love them. It's hard, but you know. Also, why was it singing if it didn't know who it was? It feels like that's kind of how you get like killed or whatever. Like if that's kind of like being out in the woods at night and then something's singing at you and you're singing back. Actually, I mean, could you imagine like something like SpongeBob? I think I'd sing back like the monster. It's like O-H. I'd be like, fuck, I-O. It like fucking kills me. The head turned and stared at the boy. Slowly it opened its mouth and... In the previous story, there was a guy who walked and danced and stuff. So what if the two stories are connected? Where it's like, she summoned it, the old woman. Yeah. So she summoned it by wishing she had company, let's say. And it was like that Pt.2 Walker that was just, you know, I'm assuming that's what it's called. And it was like walking outside, you know, because like there's the chimney, there'd be the fire beat, but there's no fire there. So she summoned it, and it's the gangling man. And then years later, after like, you know, word had spread, let's say, about like this woman being found dead in her home, no causation for how she got killed, you know, stuff like that. And then it was actually this, you know, like years later, you know, nobody would step foot in that house because it's like, bro, like she randomly just died. And then it's like a rich man who's like, you know, they just like being, they're like, oh, here's a little bit of money, dance monkey dance. But anyway, so it'd be like he offered the money and then that's what happened. And maybe the dog was like possessed, and if anything, it wasn't trying to sing, like it couldn't actually sing, but Pt.2 Walker, it made the dog sing, kind of like a homing beacon. Maybe like left or something, you know, and then it tried to come back and it used the dog as like a beacon, you know. I don't know, it seems like it'd be pretty cool to think about, but they could just not be related at all, you know. We will do one more, because I like hanging out with you guys and going back to these old stories with like an older frame of mind where I'm like, wait, okay, hold up, you know. And like I said, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I'd love to take some suggestions, you know, hear what your guys' thoughts on it now that, you know, you guys are older, and I'm sure these stories sound a bit weird to you as well, maybe. But let's move along into A Man Who Lived in Leeds. Some say this rhyme doesn't mean anything. Others are not so sure. There was a man who lived in Leeds. He filled his garden full of seeds. And when the seeds began to grow, It was like a garden filled with snow. And when the snow began to melt, it was like a ship without a belt. And when the ship began to sail, it was like a bird without a tail. And when the bird began to fly, it was like an eagle in the sky. And when the sky began to roar, it was like a lion at my door. And when the door began to crack, it was like a penknife in my back. And when my back began to bleed, I was dead. Dead. Dead indeed. I can't scream too loud. Don't want to hurt your ears, but I like that one. It's pretty good. I take away that maybe it's like things were good, and then something happened where it started going bad, you know? And then maybe something broke in, killed him. I don't know, honestly. But I like the vibe of it, because like there's clouds up here, and it looks like ink dripping. That's pretty neat. Okay, one more just for you. Okay. Old woman, all skin and bone. There was an old woman, all skin and bone, who lived near the graveyard all alone. Ooh. She thought she'd go to church one day to hear the parson preach and pray. Ooh. And when she came to the church house stile, she thought she'd stop and rest a while. Ooh. When she came up to the door, she thought she'd stop and rest some more. Ooh. And when she turned and looked around, she saw a corpse upon the ground. Ooh. From its nose down to its chin, the worms crawled out, the worms crawled in. Ooh. The woman to the preacher said, I like that one. That one was fun. I think that's how that goes. I'm not sure. I don't know how to read music. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how I sang it as a kid. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's just... But, I loved it. I really enjoyed that. That was good. I think that's the end of the chapter. Yeah. So, the next chapter in this is he heard footsteps coming up the cellar stair. There are ghosts in this chapter. Wait. Okay. Actually, so this is the next one. I enjoyed having you here, and I hope to see you again next time. This is one of my favorite book series. I think this is a series. I know that I read this one. I think there was more. Okay, so that was it. And I had a lot of fun. We got through the first chapter, or a little page of it with the jump scares. Hope I didn't scare you too much. But the next one, it looks like, is going to be spooky with ghosts. But we will stop here because I got to get back to the void. But I hope to see you in the next video. Tell me how you liked it, and I hope to see you soon. Stay hydrated and be good people. We need more of those, okay? See ya. Bye.